YouTube, this is Bonnie with Old Soul Mermaid with another deck review. And first we're going to have a little linguistics lesson, because I've noticed that as Americans, if you don't have a background in German, we butchered the title of this deck. So here we go.
Augenblick, Augenblick, Augenblick.
So there you go. This is a deck, first impressions, opening of the Augenblick. I hope I'm saying that right. Augenblick Tarot and Oracle deck. And I saw this deck on a couple of YouTube reviews, and we as non-German speaking Americans, we pronounce it Augenblick, Augenblick, or some other variations depending on where we're from. So I just thought we'd try to set it right so we can learn how to pronounce this deck, because I didn't know. So Augenblick. I hope that's close. But anyway, I was first aware of this deck, the tarot primarily, when I stumbled across Shannon Loftis, the creator, her IG account, and she said, her post said something to the effect of, I have 9 tarot decks available from the second reprinting left, and 25 from the Oracle decks left. I'm going, what? I wasn't even aware of the first printing, and how was I not aware of this? So I immediately set off to research this, and I saw Kelly and the Truth and Stories walk through of this, and I knew it was something I had to have. So let's unwrap this. Now, as a disclaimer, I did have to open this and unwrap the Oracle deck because there was a little bit of confusion. I think some people got the Oracle deck comes in 2 finishes, a linen finish and a smooth finish, and I ordered the linen finish, and I know I saw on IG that some people may have gotten the wrong finish for the Oracle deck. So I had to open it up. I tried not to look at the images. I just went through the cards really fast, feeling the texture for all the cards to make sure I got the right one that I had ordered. So I'm going to set this down a little bit. Try to get in a little bit closer. And so it came nicely wrapped in bubble wrap. It came in a priority envelope. And this deck does not come with boxes. They come in these little muslin or linen, actually, bags that hold the deck and the guidebooks. So I think this one is this one right here. Why don't we look at the tarot one first? So we will open this up. And here is the guidebook. Very nice. And oh wow, look at how cute the packaging is. It's all tied up in string. Very, very nice. Let's see if we get in a little bit. So I feel, it looks like I'm going to have to, let's look at the backs. Oh, very beautiful, very antique collage work done here. So you've got a little bit too much glare. So here's the title card. Very beautiful. So let's go through these, shall we? Now, I will say the thing that drew me to this is old pictures. You know, if I go into a, you know, a nostalgia shop, kind of curiosity shop, flea markets, I am always drawn to the baskets. You know how you'll see baskets of old pictures, and some of them will just draw me in, and I'm always wondering what happened to these people. You know, when did they die? How did they live? And you know, I'm just fascinated by that kind of thing, and that's one of the reasons collage decks by collage tarot and oracle decks are some of my favorite. I know a lot of people don't, that's not their thing, but it is very much my thing. And I believe the creator, we'll look at the book in a minute, she created this deck from stock images in a collection at the Library of Congress. So I think it was all one collection. So we'll take a look at the book, see if I'm, somebody correct me if I'm wrong. Feel free. But this is the Fool. The Magician. The High Priestess. I like this with the water and energy. Little balcony, and there's a staircase that comes down to the water. The Empress. Yeah, I get a little Empress energy from this. There's trees. There's greenery. The Emperor. Now, I believe this is a picture, a photograph of Napoleon's throne room that he had made for himself. I think that's right. The Hierophant. And this is a church of some kind. I hope that the book, I'm pretty sure that the book has information about the photographs and the locations. And I love this. The Lovers. Tall trees. The Chariot. I'd love to know who this belongs to. Who rode in this chariot? See, these old photographs, you know, I wonder about the history, and that's why I was drawn to this deck. Strength. Look at the lion. So we've got some traditional symbology here. Oh, love this hermit. Very much love this hermit. The wheel for the Wheel of Fortune. And look at these people on top. Yep, sometimes you're on top, but the wheel keeps on turning. Justice. I'm wondering where this could be. The halls of Parliament, maybe? I don't know. You can look at the book. See, I'm going to be dying to deep dive into this book. The Hanged Man. I can kind of get that. Suspension bridge. This is one of the cards that really drew me in, the Death card, in these catacombs. And just kind of the stillness and solitariness. A little chair with a table, some skulls on there. Temperance. The fountains. And really, I'm going to have to look at the book to see where all these are. These pictures are from, the locations. The Devil. these cliffs, these rocks. Could that be them working on Mount Rushmore, possibly? I don't know. I have to consult the book. The tower. See, this tower is already crumbled and it's down to its foundation. So whatever cataclysmic event has already occurred. The star. Very beautiful. The moon. I'm going to have to pick this up or this is going to be really long. The sun. Judgment. This looks like a courtroom somewhere. The world. The Ace of Cups. This has to be in Russia someplace. I've seen photographs of this, maybe with the last royal family, members of the last Tsar's royal family maybe standing around here. I don't know, it looks familiar. The Two of Cups. Very beautiful, probably, yeah, Venice. Two people in the gondola. Someplace I would very much like to visit. I'd like to be there right now. Three of Cups, friendship, community. Very beautifully depicted there. Four of Cups, looks like a Roman bath to me. You know, I could be just speaking out of my backside. I don't know. I'll have to consult the book. But it does look like an old Roman bath, possibly. Five of Cups. The Six of Cups. Pantry, old home. Beautiful. Seven of Cups. Eight of Cups. I get the Eight of Cups from this. Possibly walking up a long trail up towards your goals, away from something that doesn't serve you anymore. Either a good or bad situation. I get that energy from this card. The Nine of Cups. The 10. Home, family. Looks like a family gathering right here. The Page of Cups. I don't know if the coloring is coming through here, but there's lots of greens, browns, earthy colors here. He's about to take his canoe on the water. The Knight of Cups, like that the knight is on his horse. Beautiful waterfall. The Queen of Cups. Strikes me as a very solitary figure. King of Cups. Ace of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles. I'd really like to know where this was taken. Three of Pentacles. Four of Pentacles. Five of Pentacles. going to have to research where this is from. Usually the Five of Pentacles. Most cards depict hardship of some kind. Usually a church is depicted. Snow, amidst a snowy backdrop, a couple of figures in distress. I'm going to have to look at this one. Six of Pentacles. Beautiful. Seven of Pentacles. Eight of Pentacles. I'd really like to know where this is. In a way, it looks like a theater, but it could be a business of some kind. Honing your craft, building something that will last. Nine of Pentacles. Ten of Pentacles. The Page. The Knight. This knight doesn't have a horse, but there is an estate involved. So who is the knight? This gentleman or this one? He looks more like a master. He looks more like a king to me. The Queen of Pentacles, very earthy vibe. Overlooking her domain. The King of Pentacles. The Ace of Swords. The Two of Swords. I like this with the two diverging staircases. Different pathways. Three of Swords. And this looks like a cemetery. I'm sorry I keep hitting my my little phone arm here. I'm not used to this, so bear with me. Four of Swords. Five of Swords. I love this. Old-fashioned, turn-of-the-century beach time fun. Six of Swords. Now this does kind of go with the traditional image with the boat moving away from an unpleasant situation, starting anew. Seven of Swords. Eight of Swords. Nine of Swords. So in none of these do you see the traditional actual swords, you know, that are borderline piercing a person. Let's see the 10. Yes, the 10 of Swords. But it does have there is a cross. So, you know, the cross depicting some suffering and salvation. Page of Swords. Knight of Swords. This is the only one that I kind of have a problem with, only because, you know, bullfighting, very controversial, part of Spanish heritage, but, you know, I guess to us Americans, it's not part of our culture, so we view it as very cruel and unnecessary. Hopefully, well, I was going to say hopefully that the perceptions of that would change because it's still going on, but, you know, we shouldn't judge other cultures, I guess. Queen of Swords. I wonder if this has anything to do with the Empress Josephine. King of Swords. Ace of Wands. I like this. The Two of Wands. It's the start of something, the energy, the windmills. Three of Wands. I like this, waiting for your ships to come in, literally. Four of Wands. The Five of Wands. A little bit of competition here. Who's going to win? Who's got the upper hand, the boy or the donkey? Six of Wands. The triumphant. I don't know who this is depicting, but obviously if there's a statue made of him, it's a hero. And depicting a triumph of some kind from war, from some event. Have to consult the book. Seven of Wands. Eight of Wands. It's a factory of some kind, so instead of the normal wands being depicted going in fast motion, I guess this factory depicts motion, fast motion. Factory work is often very, very fast. So there's a quick energy there. This is beautiful. The Nine of Wands. The Ten of Wands. Usually the Ten of Wands, let's see, depicting a burden of some kind. Maybe just walking up this hill, going up to the estate house is a burden enough. I don't know. Have to consult the book with this. Page of Wands, very beautiful picture. Young girl. The Knight of Wands statue, figurine on his horse. And this is one of my favorite cards. The Queen of Wands depicted by the Statue of Liberty, and I think that's so apt. It's my favorite. The King of Wands. Oh, and I think these are some extra cards here. These don't have titles on them. I'll keep these to the side. This is what's on the cover, on the guidebook cover. But this is another choice of justice, I think. Oh, yes. Strength and justice are switched in numbering depending on which way you like to have them and what order you like to have them. So same images, just with different numbering. Oh, and you do get another depiction of temperance. So you have some choices here, which is really cool. So I will say that as far as cardstock, maybe 300, 310 GSM. I would say there's a slight gloss to them, a little on the papery side, but not bad. Not bad at all. Not a breaker for me. The images really make up for it, and this is the kind of deck that I'm going to stare for hours because, and I think it's one that can really help you develop your intuition because it doesn't just, it's not a clone. It's not a Rider-Waite-Smith clone. It's very much its own thing. And you're going to really have to come up with your own conclusions with the help of the book. You know, if you know the history, you can that will aid you in coming up with your own meanings. But beautiful, beautiful photographs. I know I'm going to be staring at this deck for hours and deep diving with it. So yeah, that is the tarot deck. And very quickly, we'll look at the book. See if I'm going to move out just a bit. So let's see how this is set up. There's the windmill card. Oh, so the first printing was in 2017. And actually that was before I started my tarot journey. So that would explain why this was off my radar. There's a welcome. And yeah, she talks about her finding these images from the archives of the Library of Congress. Why Augenblick? Augenblick is a word from Middle High German. Quick glance. It corresponds to the Au is eye. The Blick is glance. It captures the feeling of awe and reverence I experienced from the split second when a new image would load onto my screen, when I was looking for a place the magician could call home, or for how a location could effectively translate to the hanged man, and those magical moments when I would think, this is it. And she talks about why square cards, how to use them, personal perspectives and preferences. Can a beginner use this deck? And she personally does not think so. I don't think so. But I mean, if you're a beginner and you're drawn to these images and you're particularly intuitive, there's no stopping you. I'd say have at it. She does have how I read with square cards and the directional meanings. Fully upright, fully reversed, tilted left, tilted right. And that's something I've never done before, and this is my first square deck. So she does have some spreads in here, and she's got a fairly large spread here. The Augenblick square. Oh wow, this is something that I'm going to have fun working with. It's definitely outside the norm. Very different, very much its own thing. Let's kind of look. Let's pick a card. Let's see. Okay, the Chariot. I wanted to know who this belonged to. Oh, here we see the carriage of Charles X, who ruled France from September 1824 until August 1830. Ostentatious, to be sure, but expressing a nobility of movement. The Chariot card speaks to success and victory through the harnessing of power. It is up to you and what skill you have amassed so far to steer this carriage down the path to accomplishment. The steps you've taken so far in the journey, mastering your tools, consulting your inner soul wisdom, growing and giving new life, taking control of your visions, bringing mystical knowledge to bear, and uniting forces to maintain balance, all manifest here to bring you down a swift path to victory, whatever your goal. And she does have for each, it looks like at least for the major arcana, prompt questions and things to consider. What's moving you? How can you work with opposing forces towards your goal and things like that. She also has a reversal meaning for the unbalanced chariot. So let's see so there's about a page for the majors, and what does she have for the minors? About the same. A page and some prompt questions and colored pictures for each card. So if you like to read the book in bed without your cards spilling out all over, this is a very good thing. Let's see, anything. So this, you've got about 184 pages of content, and I like this. This is the main reading room of the Library of Congress. Beautiful. So, if you can bear with me, this is already at 32 minutes, we will just blast through the Oracle deck. Now the Oracle deck, I was quite surprised, is quite tiny. Now here is the guidebook. Let's flip through this really fast. The card descriptions, of course, it's thinner. Doesn't look like there's a history of the pictures, you know, where they were taken, what they are of, just at a quick glance. And this guidebook, and you don't have to pay extra for the guidebook that came, you know, just included with the price of the deck. So 78 pages with the acknowledgments. So that is the Oracle book. And now we will go through the cards. And I just dropped them. And like I said, I had to open the packaging just to make sure that I was getting the, we're going to move this down closer, the linen finish. I don't think that'll come up here, but that's what I wanted. It comes in a smooth finish too. So this is the AUGENBLICK Oracle. And these are quite small. I have small hands, so you can see how small they are. Very narrow. So this is the entrance. The Gilded Temple. The Glacier. The Halls of Ivy. The Lighthouse. The Market Hall. The Reliquary. Prison Tower. I like this. The Road Home. The Summit. The Tight Spot. It absolutely is. Town Hall. The Dreamer. The Caretaker. Fisherman, the Guide. Oh, more bullfighting. The Matadors. I know this is a famous picture and I don't know the location. It escapes my mind right now, but it's the Peeing Cherub. The Scholar. The Seeker of Treasure, Seeker of Wisdom, the Visitor. You can see that lonely figure knocking on the door. The Wanderer, the Watcher. I feel that's what I am. I often watch people. I like to people watch. It's always been a favorite pastime of mine. Concealment. This reminds me of The Handmaid's Tale. Emergence. You know that train is going to be coming around the corner very quickly. Exploration. Faith. Inexperience. I'd love to know the native costume of that this child is wearing. Innovation. Kinship. Luxury. Yes, I would say so. This is one of my favorite cards. Miscalculation. Again, I would say so. Partnership. I love this. I can tell this couple has been together for a very long time, and marriage or any kind of relationship is definitely a partnership. Reflection. Respite. Skill. That is a gorgeous, gorgeous image. Beautiful. Solace. Support. Interesting. Talking about the supports of the building, or, you know, the saying it takes a village, with all the people in the background. You know, it takes a village to raise a child. You know, it takes a village to accomplish things. Take the reins. Yes. Take the reins. Transmutation. The lines between us. And there's some humor in this with the clotheslines going between the buildings and windows, connecting this community. The post. The gamble. The high road, the low road. You take the high road, I'll take the low road, and I'll be in Scotland before ye. Is that how the song goes? The way out. Yeah, if things aren't working for you, there's always a road out. Thuribles. The climb, that is quite a climb. The crashing waves, beautiful card. The long wait. Aww, I love this. You know, those of us who are pet owners, you know how they, especially dogs, they just wait for you, you know. My dog, you know, is traumatized if we go out and have a meal, and greets us like it's the first time, you know, or that we've been away for months and months and we've been away for a couple of hours. I love this. The vows. Reminder of the vows and the promises that we make. Branding. The look back. Breathing room. Can you imagine how it was, and how it was in certain parts of the United States, you know, the tenements in New York, and still some places in the world that have very, very little room between people, and how they learn to work together and coexist. And A lot of us Americans are quite spoiled, you know. We have our breathing room. The joy we carry. I like this. Finding joy in the mundane, in the everyday, not necessarily in the miraculous and the spectacular, and I think that's a secret to happiness, isn't it? The light of beauty, the wearing down, the places we grow, the places we stay. The cemetery. And this is where we're all going to end up. It's beautiful though. I find cemeteries just peaceful and beautiful. Royal decree. The cave. So that was the AUGENBLICK Oracle and the tarot deck. And like I don't know if I mentioned, the website no longer has the tarot deck, but the last time I checked, there were still oracles in both finishes. The oracle deck is only $25, including the book, which is a very good deal. It's a petite deck, easy to carry around. I quite like the linen finish on this. I kind of wish that they offered, or maybe they did and I just got to it too late, offered the linen finish in the tarot too, but it's fine. It's definitely fine. These are beautiful. I think I can grow a lot being compared to some fairly new on my tarot journey, but these cards speak to me. Anything from the past, pictures, clothing, just old things that you can touch, just speak to me. I wonder about the faces, I wonder about the people, like I said, just wondering, you know, staring at their faces, what their lives were like. You know, wondering, you know, when I see a woman in a corset, you know, frontier women, and you know they're wearing some kind of a corset, you know, how the heck did you work and get your housework done, raise children, wearing a corset on the frontier? Those kind of things intrigue me. So this is a very beautiful deck, and I know it's a learning deck. It's not something that I'm going to keep learning from this deck, and I know I can't wait to deep dive into the book. So thank you for going through this unboxing, unveiling, first impressions with me. This is a very new channel. If you liked what you saw, if you appreciated any part of this, you can subscribe and hit like. It would be much appreciated. And I hope to bring more decks to your attention soon. And I hope you have a lovely evening and a lovely week. And thank you for just kind of bearing with me and letting me learn as I film and try this YouTube experiment. So thank you and good night.